So I watched this episode yesterday, and when I first watched it, my first impressions was incredibly negative. Like, I really did not like how Connie just seemed very kind. But then I rewatched it when I woke up this morning before I sat down doing this review, and I realized what was going on with Connie was actually realistic. And even though it was over-exaggerated, and there is some bad parts about it that I personally do not like, it's still, actually, I could consider good writing. But there is some bad parts about it. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than I first thought it was when I watched the episode yesterday when it came out. So to explain, at first glance, when you see Connie throughout this episode, she seems like she just had a dramatic character shift, like a 180. She's no longer with a stick up her butt and being mean or evil or whatever. She was actually trying to be cute, compassionate, nice to Ayano, and I'm like, whoa, what happened to the character I saw a couple episodes back? Whoa, what happened to that? But then I started thinking about it, thinking about her position, what she knows, her relationship with Ayano, and the mother. I'm like, now that I think about it, it does make sense why she acted like she did a couple episodes back. The only fault I can give it, like, you know, the change in personality, is the fact that she was kind of misrepresented in the previous episodes because, see, the music and the way the, you know, art and animation was done, it made her look very sinister, and maybe the manga wanted that, but it was very over the top in the anime, and it could definitely give you a false impression of her, especially from an outsider's perspective that doesn't understand her conflict. And I guess that the opposite is true for what's going on with Ayano. For instance, if we did not know Ayano, if we haven't seen her character, her inner psyche, what she's went through throughout episode 1 to right now, we would probably think she has a stick up her butt and she just needs to move on or stop being such a jerk. That's what we would think as well. And I'm like, that is kind of what I think the writer's trying to show here, is that we need context. We need to understand what's going on between these two and why they act like they do. So, getting into the nitty-gritty, the reason why Connie acted like she did was because she had an inferiority complex, which I have discussed already. She felt very inferior to Ayano, and she felt like she was not as good, and she wanted to prove herself, which is a couple episodes back why she was just acting so high and mighty, and why she wanted to challenge her, is because she wanted to prove herself that she was incredibly good, and that she was better than Ayano, her sister. But obviously, it did not work out like that. And now that we see it, now it makes a lot of sense. The reason why she got very competitive or aggressive was because Ayano's mother and Connie's mother, they never, like, she never properly said anything. She was so mysterious that she never gave a proper answer, and so it left it to where she grew an inferiority complex, and she really didn't know what to do. And also, looking at the flashbacks we got, it seems like Connie was never really aware of the relationship that Ayano had with her mother. She was never aware of that. She never knew that Ayano's mother was kind of like doing abandonment, just abandoning people, or abandoning her own daughter, and moved on. She was never made aware of that. She never got to personally see that or even hear about it. So obviously in this episode when Ayano turns her down, is like, you know, I'm going to abandon my mother before she abandons me again, that right there is kind of like, whoa, big wake-up call for her, because she was unaware of this, didn't even know, and so it left her very confused, because since the very beginning, she's wanted to just create a family. She just wanted to have a sister and a mother. Even though she got very competitive and she was a jerk, she went about it wrong, and she obviously realizes she did. She even kind of admits that in this episode. She went about it the wrong way. The entire scene with the two children and the mother was a reference to what Connie wanted to do. She wanted to make up for being such an awful person to Ayano a couple episodes back. But obviously, she has poor communication skills, which was very apparent throughout this episode. So you throw in inferiority complex, bad communication, not understanding the context of why Ayano is like she is, or why she doesn't recognize, you know, Connie, or, you know, even care about the mother at all, then it all makes sense now. Now everything is coming into, you know, focus where you understand why Connie acted like she did. So that is the reason why I actually like Connie's character even more than I did when I watched the episode yesterday or previous episodes, is because now it makes sense. Now, the bad parts about it, honestly, like I said, the previous episodes, it really gave Connie a very bad first impressions. It was a very bad first impressions. And so, seeing Connie for the first time, it's going to make many not like her. I personally did not like her. I kind of still don't like her even after watching this episode. Even though I understand her, and now I understand why she acts like she does, I still kind of don't like her. But I have to say that even though this episode did a fantastic job, the previous episodes did a poor job of really establishing her as a character. And I think that's one of the big reasons why many probably won't like this episode, is because of how it was handled. And I don't think it was very straightforward with Connie's character in this episode. You really need to analyze it and think about it to get a full grasp on what's going on within her mind and why she acts like she does. So it could be a little bit jarring and confusing while you watch this episode. Now, getting into Ayano for a second, once again, I love ruthless, savage Ayano. What she did to Connie, even though I feel bad for her, and now I understand her intentions, I still really like Ayano's ruthless side. Because what she did to Connie was honestly, I think it's going to give a wake-up call to everybody around, because they're going to realize that, Ayano, she's not right in the head. She is a very broken girl. She may be kind and cutesy, in public, doing, random things that's not related to badminton, but as soon as it comes to badminton, it just, it rekindles that fire within her and the savagery, and she just goes off the walls crazy. And so when she gave the eyes to Connie, it really showed how broken she is, and I like that type of stuff. And seeing the mother pop up at the end as well, that's going to really make the next upcoming scene probably very fascinating, because it makes you wonder, what is Ayano going to do? Because, just the sheer fact of, Connie wanting to kind of be a family with Ayano, when that was mentioned, it really woke her up, and like a beast was unleashed. She acted like a savage person. But then, now the mother has popped up, it makes you wonder, what is she going to say to her mother? Is she going to just go evil-eyed and be mean to her and just shove her away? Or is she going to break down and be a little bit kinder to her? I'm kind of curious on seeing how Ayano is going to react around her mother in the upcoming episode. I'm actually really excited for that, because this will probably finally give us the details that we need for Ayano's mother, and is she truly a bad person or not? Honestly, as I've said in the past, I still think she is honestly irredeemable. She is someone that I don't think you can really excuse for her actions. She could try to make an effort to be a better person. I think she could do something like that. Like, take an effort to better herself and, try to make up for the horrible things she did in the past. But for what she did in the past, it was absolutely horrible. Like I've said already, she left Ayano when she was sick. And you don't leave your child when she's in bed, sick. You don't do that. You don't say a savage thing to a child that's under 5, saying, when you get better, you can fight me anytime you want. I'm like, you don't say that to your child. It's awful to say. So, regardless of context, like, for instance, context to Connie in this episode, I don't think any type of context will really give justice to Ayano's mother and properly clarify why she did so much awful things to her. I don't even know if she's really even aware of it. It really makes you wonder, is she doing it purposely? Because in a way, she is kind of doing the exact same thing she did to Ayano to Connie. She was very mysterious, didn't reveal any details on, Connie to Ayano, never said anything, but on top of that, she never really talked much about Ayano to Connie, so it left everything in a big mystery, which caused more problems for Connie, to where she felt alienated and also felt very inferior. So the mother is messing with both of these girls. It makes you wonder if that's her standard practice of teaching, or if there's a lot more going on here. Is she just really that bad of a mother, and she can't comprehend things? Just makes you wonder. But okay. So anyways, with all that being said, I think this episode, it was a needed episode. It needed to happen. Even though it could have been a lot better because of the introduction of Connie, I think this episode got the point across of what it wanted to do with the character, and also how Ayano is just not going to properly fix that easy. She's not going to get over the issue she has with her mother like that. It's not going to be that easy, and I feel like it's going to be a long road for her to finally snap into reality and realize how she needs to change. Even if she might not ever forgive her mother, she needs to be able to move past it, but not be so ruthless to everyone around her, especially someone like Connie that's trying to be nice, at the very least. You should, at the very least, accept, a good hand. Someone that's, lifting and putting her hand out for you. You should try to accept it and be a little bit nicer, and obviously Ayano didn't do that whatsoever. Now, let's talk about Aragaki for a second. So, Aragaki, as a character, I'm starting to realize what her role in this series is going to be. Besides her issues with her injury injury and how she could potentially be benched and never be able to play ever again, I think her role in the series, at the very least, is probably going to be used to wake up Ayano from this darkness that's currently just surrounding her. What I mean is that Ayano, she's a great player. But when it comes to badminton, anything that is around that, she gets very toxic. She's a horrible, horrible person. She's a great player, but she's a horrible person. And in this case, I feel like Aragaki is going to be used as a character, like a device, a plot device, to wake her up and make her realize that there's more to being just savage or, you know, not being grateful to people or whatever. She's probably either going to win against Ayano, make her wake up, or she's going to lose, but it's going to make Ayano realize how awful she has been. It's one or the other. I do truly believe that, you know, that's what Aragaki's character is going to be used for. But that's about it. That's my thoughts on the episode. It's a very straight-to-the-point episode, and I think everybody's going to be able to understand how savage Ayano has become and how she does need to work through it. It is definitely something she needs to overcome, but it's not going to be easy for her to do. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you enjoy this episode? Did you hate this episode? Be honest in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, you know, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.